Thank you very much, Madam Hubner, the chairperson, Mr. Giegold, colleagues, shadow rapporteurs, other colleagues. As a shadow rapporteur from the EPP, I would like to first thank our rapporteur for the draft, and also many of other colleagues as well as the relevant committees who submitted their opinions and who provided contribution to the creation of this report by tabling really a great number of amendments, over 460. Although the levels of transparency, accountability and integrity in the work of the European Union are already among the highest in the world, there is an agreement about the significance of further enhancing these standards. In that way, the EU institutions could continue to set an example and achieve the highest possible level of openness, which is closely related to public trust in the political institutions. However, it is the view of the EPP, which is largely evident also in the amendments of other political groups, that this report should adopt a balanced approach by enhancing the transparency and protecting at the same time other important principles, values and interests of the Union. Namely, the proposal of making it mandatory for rapporteurs and committee chairs to exclusively meet registered lobbyists and disclose information on such meetings, in combination with a lack of universally accepted, clear and binding definition of lobbying, could put in difficulty the communication of European citizens with their elected representatives and restrict, in a way, the free mandate of the members. It doesn't seem acceptable that the exclusion from the transparency register of national, regional and local level governments and their representative associations is conditioned by the existence of their own mandatory lobby registers, as proposed in the original paragraph 15, but also as it seems in the amended version. These state organizations are radically different from private interest representatives, and cooperation between the different levels of legislative actors should not be hindered in any way, bearing in mind also the principles of subsidiarity and multi-layer governance of our European project. Furthermore, to the issue that was mentioned by Mr. Giegold, and that is the trialogue meetings, though it is certainly possible to improve transparency of the interinstitutional negotiations process, other alternative and efficient solutions exist, such as reporting to the relevant parliamentary committee. Related to this is also the understandable need to maintain the confidentiality during the negotiations between the member states. Concerning the international trade negotiations, all trade negotiations differ from each other, and thus the attempt to adopt the same approach for all of them might sometimes endanger even the financial or negotiating positions or interests of the European Union. The EPP Group also believes that the advisory committee of the conduct of members should stay an advisory committee of members and not take over the prerogative of making final decisions instead of the President of the Parliament. A possible compromise might be to complement the committee with a solution such as an external member chosen from the former members of the European Court of Justice or European Court of Auditors, or even one of our own former members of this House. Regarding the financing control of European political parties, we believe that the existing European regulation on political parties from 2014 and the EU financial regulation of 2012 already stipulate that the Parliament selects independent external auditors to confirm that its resources have been legally used by European political parties. What might be also interesting for us to use this opportunity before we move on into a debate between the rapporteur and the shadows is just one clarification by our rapporteur regarding the amendment 320 on archiving emails. And if I understand correctly the wording, it is proposed to publicly release the emails of members and their staff after a certain period of time. I would hope a clarification can help us to see if this is the intention. I have gone through and carefully analyzed all of the amendments which were submitted and tabled to this important report. A majority of them follows the same common line, which is attempting to find a reasonable balance between ensuring transparency on one hand and securing other important European values and strategic interests. And because of this, I'm confident that in the following weeks, before the vote in our committee, it will be possible to find compromise solutions for the contentious points of this report, with the aim of comprehensively enhancing the system of the transparency, accountability and integrity, while protecting all other principles of the European Union. Thank you very much, Madam Chair.